So Moira, we have come up onto the ridge, which is one of the really obvious features. You can see the Malvern Hills from, well, loads of places. Can you tell me what it is that makes this landscape with the big hills in the middle?
The Malvern Hills are very ancient rock which cooled from a molten magma chamber deep in the Earth's crust and then, over many millennia, got pushed up along a line of weakness in the Earth's crust. Because the rock is so hard, the hills resist erosion and they stand out for miles around.
I can't help but notice that the landscape on the west towards Herefordshire looks really different to the landscape to the east towards Worcestershire. So what is going on here?
We've got completely different geology on either side of the hills. To the west of us here was a tropical sea in which the sediments laid down on the bottom of that sea consisted of limestones and mudstones. All of these rocks were folded around 300 million years ago by the tectonic forces of the same event that thrust up the Malvern Hills. Over many millions of years, the folded rocks have been eroded to form the hill ridges and valleys we see here today.
So what are we looking at on the Worcestershire side of the hills? I can see it looks very flat.
On the Worcestershire side of the hills is completely different rock. After the upthrust of the Malvern Hills rock and the folding of the rocks to the west, there was a period when the complete opposite happened. The crust of the area began to be extended, pulled apart. Along the eastern side of the Malvern Hills is the East Malvern Fault. When this extension of the crust occurred, movement along this fault dropped the area to the east down by 2.5 kilometres, 2,500 metres, forming a rift valley. At the time, we were at the latitude of today's Sahara Desert, and it was a huge, great arid land here. The Rift Valley got filled in by desert sand and mudstones.
So now, when you walk along the ridge, you can picture the tropical sea that once lay to the west, and at a later time the desert to the east.